All right, day 1 of 90. I'm going to be going through and giving some talks or lectures to improve my speaking skill. One of my goals currently right now is speaking in front of audiences. I heard a story from Ray Stanford one time. No, I take that back. I think it was John Canary. And John was saying, you know what? When I first got in front of the room, you could probably say that I couldn't even lead this group in silent prayer. And yeah, there was a point in time where I was pretty decent at talking in front of people. Even now, I'm sure as you're listening, like, oh, bro, you got no problem doing it. But there's always little stuff that I know I can do better at. So this is one of those things. I want to be not just okay, not just good, but I want to be excellent. I want to walk out in front of crowds and captivate them, leaving them with laughter, strong emotions of sincerity, and really just pulling the most out of people. And I know in order to do that, speaking is going to be one of those things. And the fun way I've done this is I had ChatGPT write me out 90 different things for the next 90 days. It gives me a title, I have an opening hook, a key point, and a closing challenge. So I'm just going to vibe through this thing, and I hope that you enjoy. So today we're talking about embracing the unknown with confidence. Now, one of the first lessons that I really got was from Tony Robbins. And I'm saying one of the first lessons, but there's a ton of first lessons. But one of the big lessons that I really learned early on in my self-development or personal development career was confidence. Sorry, not confidence. I was looking at the title again, but embracing the unknown. And the unknown can be simplified into two things, certainty and uncertainty. Well, and the crazy thing is the way Tony talked about it was that humans have both sides of the coin. It's the law of polarity. I can't have one without having the other. Our great God who created this world, this universe, everything inside of it. And despite, what you believe in or beliefs put aside for the purpose of this, and you hearing the message and being able to accept the message, there is a thing called the law of polarity. You can't have a positive without having a negative. Can't have cold water without having hot water or lukewarm water, right? So in relation to the law of polarity, there is this thing called certainty and uncertainty. My dog in the background is just having a freaking fit. Let me shut this door real quick. Okay, we're back. He is just going at it in the living room. Anyhow, there's certainty and there's uncertainty. And the whole thing is, say you walk in a building, and when you walk in the building, you're not sure if the roof is going to hold. That's just something that pops in your head. You look up, it kind of looks a little raggedy. There's some holes in the roof. Some of the 2x4s or 2x6s, if the contractor is pretty good and didn't spare any expenses, were rotted out. Some of the joists were just, not completely screwed in. And you're going in the building, and you have to be in there for an hour. But the whole time you're in there, the only thing that you can think about is, will this roof hold up while I'm inside this building, right? So you have the uncertainty in this situation of whether the roof is going to hold or whether it's not. Now you walk in a perfectly good building and it's new. You're looking around, everything's crisp and cookie cutter. And the one thing that's not on your mind is, is this roof going to hold? right? That's no longer a question. So now you have certainty that you can be in the building and that question's no longer on the forefront of your mind. But that's life, right? It's embracing the unknown. The unknown is the uncertainty that we face in life. But there's also two sides of the unknown. You have the unknown in the sense of like you don't know what's going to come next. You don't know what's on the other side of that door. Uh, the unknown in the sense of creativity, right? That's where all your creative possibility lies. And that's just something I've been training my brain on this year to be better at is embracing the unknown. Don't worry about it. Let go. Let go. You have to trust that everything's going to work out in the perfect manner. Because look at everything else around us. You know, the acorn falls from the tree, sprouts up into a 30-foot oak tree one day, and all it did was exist. It was fuller expression seeking itself through the acorn. It didn't have anything else to do but be itself. And I've found myself so many times over the years of being in the unknown, like not sure what's going to be next. And I've had some very challenging times over the past 4 years that, I mean, led to some serious mental breakdowns where I know for 6 months at one point, I was mentally shut down. I wasn't thinking positive. I wasn't doing any self-development. The self-development I was doing it from a mental negative framework. Like I was only doing the self-development from a negative aspect, right? Dead begots dead. I was only focusing on the negative. And something I didn't do was embracing the unknown and letting go. There's that old saying, let go and let God. But in this situation, it's so true. The moment that you can find yourself being able to let go of the situation, stop trying to control every single outcome, because that's not up to you. You have one job, and that's to be you and not worry about every single detail that comes along. Stop trying to predict what's on the other side. Again, the unknown is the best place to create from. When you don't know what to do, that's where the creativity starts to kick in. I heard Bob Proctor telling this story one time, and he said his wife was getting ready. He was getting ready for this seminar, and they were taking a shower, and for whatever reason, the shower thing head just falls off, the pipe bursts, there's water going everywhere. Bob's trying to get the thing to shut off, it won't shut off. I'm uncertain if it was the shower head or if it was the faucet. I think it was the water faucet. But they're trying to get the water shut off. Bob says in his great thinking, he runs over, grabs a broom handle, and he shoves it inside of the water faucet. And that was the solution. His wife, being a little more handy, runs in there, shuts the water off to the house, and the water problem's fixed. And anyways, fast forward, they're on the way to the conference, and his wife looks over at Bob and says, you know, it's crazy is some people will only be creative 2 to 3 times a year when life puts them in the situation to be creative. Now think about that, because I heard another gentleman one time say he gets paid to think, right? That's his job. He's a professional thinker. All he does is think. And ask yourself, have you been avoiding the unknown, where the creativity is waiting for you, where opportunity is inside of the unknown? And even just knowing the scale, again, like we have certainty and uncertainty, 2 core human needs any person needs. That's funny how that worded. But they're 2 core human needs, right? Certainty and uncertainty. You can't exist you can't exist without them. So if you know what side of the fence you lean towards, then keep that in the back of your mind when you're facing these things. again, there has been many times over the past 4 years where I didn't know what was next. I quit my job and I didn't have any money saved because Bob Proctor said, if you're not happy doing what you're doing, then choose to do something different. And for whatever reason, I just wasn't wise enough. And there's something to be said about ignorance. Ignorance is a great thing. Don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. And I just was ignorant to life. I don't know. I just walked in that day to work and said, I'm not happy. I'm quitting. And that was seriously the start of my journey, the start of my life. And I didn't look back. I didn't know what was next. I didn't know how I was going to pay rent that month. Actually, the thought never crossed my mind until it came close to the end of the month. And I was like, dang, I don't have any money. I was doing a little network marketing thing. And my motto back then was burn the boats, burn them. You don't need to go backwards. Do it Viking style, baby. You get to the shore, burn them suckers and say the only way is to go forward. And sometimes that is the right thing to do. So ignorance, there's something to be said about ignorance. Don't ever let people tell you what something is or isn't, okay? So yeah, there's going to be times in the unknown where your opportunity lays ahead of you and your life won't ever look the same. I'm very conscious every single day about the decisions I make. How is this going to affect me years down the line from me not doing this, by me not following through, by me not making the hard choice? The unknown is inevitable. It's a part of your life. It's Tony, I heard him talking one time. He said, if you don't want problems, then go be dead, because dead people don't have problems. Problems are a sign of life. Everyone's got them. The fact that you got problems popping up means that you're alive. Celebrate it. It's a source of growth, but also a place that can be and feel uncomfortable. But that's the uncomfortability. When we get uncomfortable, that's where your opportunity is to grow. I know you keep hearing me say that, but there's power in shifting your perspective about the situation. The whole podcast that I started on my YouTube was called The Adler Perspective, and it's because perspective is one of those superpowers that I was just blessed with. Maybe it had something to do with growing up, we had money and life was pretty crispy, and during the 2006, 2008 area, my dad lost everything. We lost our house, ended up moving into a rental. And guess what? That's life. And it gave me some perspective. And that's one of my superpowers that I hope to pass along to you right now, is shifting your perspective. And perspective isn't just saying, okay, the right looks ugly, let me look left. No. Perspective is a story that you're telling yourself. It's not just a physical thing, right? I'm not saying if the house is burning down, look at the house next door because it's not on fire. No, you have to shift your actual perspective, the self-talk that's going on, right? Instead of thinking, what if this goes wrong, or what if it goes wrong, or when this goes wrong, or what are all the ways that this could not work out? Shift it to, what if this is the best thing I could do? What if this is the step to a ton of other open doors for me in my life's path? What if me going to this conference? What if me going to this networking event? What if me trying out this business, this small business idea I had? What if? Change your perspective, because these are those moments in life where you take a step in the right direction, not because you know what's next, but because it's unknown. In the good book, the Bible, it literally says, walk by faith, not by sight. And that book is thousands of years old. And you got other books that have said the same thing. Every self-development book is all hitting about the same thing. Walk with faith, baby. Walk with faith. You don't got to know what's next. It if you know what's next, you can prepare for it. And if you're prepared for it, then you're going to do what you do best as a human being. You're going to try and control the situation. I'm not saying that it's not always good to be prepared, but sometimes in life, you don't got time to prepare. You just got to walk forward. There's a time for action, and then there's a time to analyze a situation. Growth doesn't come from complete knowledge, but from stepping forward with confidence. There's so many times I've been trading for the past 5 years now. And in trading, I would make all these lists in these boxes, and like I'd be like, okay, if it does this, check. If it does this thing, check. If it goes here, check. And I would make all these checklists, which is, don't get me wrong, is a good thing. But I would get so caught in the analysis that I would fail to take action on the idea. That by the time I finished going over 1,000-point overview of the trade is already gone and totally, gone without me. I missed out on opportunity. I'm sitting here on my hands. Do not get caught on your hands. There is a time for action and there is a time for analysis, but don't be the person who just sits there and analyzes every single thing. I remember when I first got started 4 years ago, I'm saying 4 years, 5 years ago, when I first got started 5 years ago, I looked at every single detail. I remember I thought making a business was just coming up with a cool name. Right? I didn't know that I got to know the marketing side of things. I got to know some sales side of things. I got to be comfortable talking to individuals. I got to work on the product. I got to work on the packaging, right? And I would sit here and I would analyze all the million things that I would have to do for the business. And I wouldn't take any action whatsoever. So by the time the idea came along, I'd gotten so hung up on analyzing every detail of the situation that I didn't do anything with it at all. How many times have you done that? Where you just analyzed the piss out of something and you didn't do anything about it. You equated doing the work as analyzing all the details and stuff that's going to go into it, but you never stepped out and did something on it. You didn't take action. Again, growth doesn't come from having complete knowledge about everything, but from stepping forward with confidence. Take bold action. It's going to be uncomfortable, but doing the small stuff leads up to it. If you don't have trust in yourself that you can do it, build the trust. You don't know if you can, go do something. Action is not this 1,000-point plan. It's doing one thing right now. It's me recording this audio thing. I want to get better at speaking. What do I have to do? Not analyze all the stuff I should and shouldn't do. Not analyze all the talks. Just start doing the thing. When you start doing the thing, the stuff that you need will come to you. When you align your energy, when you align your action to that wave, to that frequency, to that energy, the stuff that you're waiting for, the stuff that you need will come to you automatically. All it requires is some faith and some action. So what's one thing you've been hesitating to do simply because of uncertainty? I want you to reflect back. And look, it already popped in your mind because I am the person, I'm talking to myself. So I know the thing that you have been putting off, not taking action on, hesitating to do simply because of the uncertainty that lays beyond it, if it immediately popped in your head and you know exactly what we should do. And don't say, well, I got 5 or 6 things. No, you don't. Pick one and just go do it. Worry about the rest later. Take a step and watch what happens. Life will start to unfold in the craziest ways possible. So I challenge you, take one small step toward it today. Write it down right now while we're sitting here. Go ahead. pull out the notes on your phone, grab a piece of paper. If you're driving, go pause the audio, wait till you get to the office or wherever you're going, and then pull out the piece of paper and say, what is one small thing I can do today? Not 100, not 10, not 5, not 3, not 2, 1. Whether it's sending an email, making a call, or committing to a goal. Thanks for listening to me. This was episode 1 of 90. Probably wasn't the super smooth, but hey, you know what? We showed up and we did the dang thing. You feel me? All right, again, that was embracing the unknown with confidence. If you want more episodes like this, just tune in. I will be dropping them continuously. I'm not even going to edit this freaking thing. I'm just going to throw it all out there. Because, yeah, I want to. All right. Till next time. Peace.